The waves whispered secrets to the shore, a gentle rhythm against the golden sand. August 16th, 1942, dawned bright and clear near San Francisco. The Pacific, usually a canvas of vibrant blue, lay calm and serene. Unseen beneath the surface, a war raged, casting long shadows even on this idyllic Sunday morning. But on the shore, the world seemed at peace, a deceptive tranquility masking a mystery soon to unfold. The salty tang of the sea air hung heavy, a familiar scent to those who called this coast home. Seagulls cried overhead, their calls echoing across the waves. The sun, already warm, promised a beautiful day, inviting residents to enjoy the respite from wartime anxieties. But fate, it seemed, had other plans, a narrative far removed from the peaceful facade. Ida Ruby, a woman with a heart as warm as the California sun, strolled along the beach that Sunday. The war felt a world away, a distant drumbeat against the rhythm of the waves. Life in San Francisco had changed, of course. Rationing was in effect, and the threat of Japanese aggression loomed large. Yet there was a resilience, a determination to find normalcy amidst the uncertainty.
My Sunday walks are my sanctuary, a chance to connect with nature and find a bit of peace.
The familiar landscape, the soothing sounds of the ocean brought a sense of calm. But on this particular Sunday, the familiar was about to be shattered, replaced by an extraordinary event that would etch itself into her memory. A distant hum, barely audible at first, broke the silence. Ida paused, her gaze drawn towards the source of the sound. High above, emerging from the early morning haze, a dark shape materialized against the clear blue sky. It was a blimp, its massive form casting an elongated shadow that danced across the sand. But this was no pleasure craft, no leisurely tour of the coastline. This was a military airship, its presence a stark reminder of the ongoing war.
What on earth is that? A blimp here?
The sight of the blimp, silhouetted against the sun, sent a shiver down Ida's spine. It was a symbol of protection, yes, but also a harbinger of the danger lurking just beyond the horizon. The war, it seemed, had a way of intruding even into this peaceful sanctuary. As Ida watched, the blimp drew closer, its shadow enveloping her in a moment of unexpected foreboding. During World War II, blimps played a crucial role in coastal defense. These lumbering giants of the sky, slower than airplanes but possessed of exceptional endurance, patrolled tirelessly, their keen eyes scanning the vast expanse of the Pacific. Tasked with spotting enemy submarines, they were a vital line of defense against the threat of Japanese aggression. Equipped with depth charges and manned by vigilant crews, they stood guard, silent sentinels against the unseen enemy. The blimps were more than just weapons, they were symbols of American ingenuity and determination. Their presence in the skies reassured a nation at war, a visible reminder that the fight was being taken to the enemy. But for the men who flew these airships, danger was ever present. The skies were a battleground, and the blimps, for all their size, were vulnerable targets. Navy Lieutenant Ernest Cody and his co-pilot, Officer Charles Adams, manned the controls of the blimp that fateful Sunday.
Our mission is routine: patrol the coastline, scan for enemy activity, and report any sightings.
Theirs was a world of humming engines, the smell of diesel, and the constant tension of wartime duty.
Hours passed, the monotony broken only by the crackle of static on the radio and the occasional exchange of words between us.
Then, silence. At precisely 11:18 a.m., the regular radio check-in went unanswered.
Cody and Adams, their voices previously a reassuring presence on the airwaves, had vanished into the ether.
Repeated attempts to re-establish contact were met with only an eerie silence. Somewhere above the vast expanse of the Pacific, the blimp continued its silent journey, its occupants seemingly lost to the world. Minutes turned into an agonizing hour. Concern on the ground escalated into alarm. Then, a faint distress signal, weak and garbled, crackled through the static. The blimp, it seemed, was in trouble. Frantic calls were made, orders barked, and within moments, rescue efforts were underway.
A fishing boat, the closest vessel to the blimp's last known location, reported seeing the airship ascending rapidly, its engines straining against some unseen force. The blimp, they said, seemed to be struggling, its nose pointing almost vertically upwards. Then, just as abruptly as it began, the ascent stopped. The blimp, as if suspended by an invisible thread, hung motionless in the air, a silent giant against the backdrop of the cloudless sky. Then, slowly, almost reluctantly, it began to descend.
Back on the beach, Ida Ruby watched in horror as the blimp, its once proud form now deflated and listing dangerously, drifted towards the shore. It passed directly overhead, its shadow momentarily engulfing her in an unwelcome embrace.
It was then that she noticed something truly strange. Peering through one of the gondola windows, she saw 3 figures, not 2. 3 men, not Cody and Adams alone, but a third, unidentified individual. Ida rubbed her eyes, unsure of what she was seeing. Could it be? Was there someone else on board? The image, seared into her memory, would haunt her for years to come.
The blimp continued its slow descent, eventually disappearing behind a ridge, its fate uncertain. Ida, shaken and bewildered, raced towards the nearest phone, her mind awhirl with questions. First responders arriving at the crash site were greeted by a scene of eerie silence. The blimp lay crumpled on the ground, its deflated form a sad testament to its sudden demise. The gondola, relatively intact, was empty. Cody and Adams were gone, vanished without a trace. There was no sign of a struggle, no indication of what might have become of them.
The third man, the figure Ida Ruby claimed to have seen, was also missing. The mystery deepened. A thorough search of the surrounding area yielded no clues. The investigation, hampered by the fog of war and the lack of concrete evidence, proved fruitless. Cody and Adams were declared missing, presumed dead. Their disappearance, along with the unexplained presence of a third individual, became a footnote in the annals of wartime mysteries.
The disappearance of Lieutenant Cody and Officer Adams remains an enigma to this day. Theories abound, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Some whisper of espionage, of a daring mid-air abduction. Others speak of a desperate attempt to survive, of the men leaping from the doomed airship. The truth, however, remains elusive, lost somewhere in the mists of time. What happened aboard that blimp on August 16, 1942? Who was the third man Ida Ruby saw? And what became of Cody and Adams? Perhaps somewhere hidden in a dusty archive or a forgotten memoir lies the key to this enduring mystery. Until then, the case of the vanishing soldiers continues to intrigue and baffle, a poignant reminder of the enduring power of the unknown.